Hey lovelies, it's Lisa here, and it's another hashtag 78 days, another day, another card, another deck. Oh, it's actually day 39, which is the halfway point, and quite miraculously, of course, this is the sort of daily miracle that we all know and come to love in our work with the 78. But this halfway point is marked by what has been my card of the year, the Three of Wands, and my year ahead spread was actually with the Wild Unknown. This is the mass market version, the third edition. Yeah, what a year it has been. I think I'm going to do a little kind of year update video maybe this weekend and talk a lot more about this card and how it's been meaningful for me. But the Three of Wands, just kind of remembering where we've been. If we think about the kind of gift that the Ace brings us, and then we think about the Two, which shows us a path forward. We're on our way. What does the Three represent? For me, I think Kim Kranz's imagery here is just completely perfect. This is a portal. It's a doorway. And the invitation here is really to go through this gate and to enter a whole new world, right? This is a card that for me is all about commitment. Not just having the opportunity to have energy, but what it means for that energy to anchor itself in a path forward, So let me just go through the rest of the suit in Kim Kranz's deck, and then talk a little bit more about the Three. I love the way in which her deck has this sort of twig-like feel to it that alternates between the sort of the dryness of the wood and the sparkiness of the flame, and then you have that kind of lightning bolt in the Eight, right? Which reminds us the ways in which for things to really catch a blaze, you need both. You need the spark, but you also need the right conditions. You need the wood, you need the tinder. It's so easy to put out a flame too quickly by trying to feed it without giving it enough oxygen, without giving it enough brush, enough kindling, right? And yet, somehow in between the flame and the wood, we also get life. So these twigs are also flowering. And then the imagery of snakes, which for me, there's both the kind of fieriness of the flickering tongue of the snake. There's the link to the Garden of Eden and to what it means to seek knowledge and what it means to take risks. There's the ways in which snakes shed their skin. And then there's even the kind of sideways movement of snakes, this kind of deep wisdom that sometimes the best way forward is not straight ahead, but is going to entail a kind of circuitous movement as we navigate life. This is the Tower in Kim Kranz's deck, just a kind of reminder of the ways in which the conditions that enable the wood to catch a blaze are sometimes conditions that we would never have chosen for ourselves. And that, in fact, is kind of what's been happening with me in my life, and the ways this Three has opened up, the ways in which life has presented me with a doorway. And it's not the way I thought I wanted things exactly, and yet it is exactly what I've chosen, if that makes any sense at all. So this Three, just a reminder of this is from the Borderless Waite Smith, but just this imagery of, the kind of setting forward, setting one's intention and one's will, a pathway opening up, but also the need for choice, the need for concretely harnessing our energies. In the Golden Thread tarot in Tina Fong, like I was forgetting the name of the artist, in Tina Fong's deck, what she says about this globe in the hands of the figure in the Two of Wands is really smart. She talks about, like, you know, having the materials to create. You know, you don't move forward with just intention. You also have to have the conditions. And that too comes back to the ways in which Kim Kranz's deck alternates between the sense of there being kindling and wood, the dry conditions that can catch fire, there being fire, and then the kind of the magic of when the conditions and the causes come together, and then you get the flourishing of life. You get the arising of new energy. So, yeah, the Three of Wands, you know, it's not just about a path appearing and choices being available and material conditions being there. It's about commitment, moving forward. Our hand firmly on the staff as we actually walk through that gate, as we actually enter, right, into this new world. Okay, I'm gonna, this is like my quickest video ever. My hair is wet, I'm on my way out the door, but I'm gonna come back to, I think, talking about the Three of Wands a little bit later this weekend, and talk a little bit about my year ahead spread and some of the ways that cards have been unfolded for me. And one of the things I want to talk a little bit about is the relationship between the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords. They're very similar in the imagery in Kim Kranz's deck, and there's a kind of interesting conjunctions between the two. And in fact, my September card is the Two of Swords right now, so I'm trying to wrap my head around that card. Okay, yeah, wow, 7 minutes and 2 seconds. This has got to be a Lisa Mindful Tarot record. All right, everyone. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for your practice. Be well.